That apparently I parked the smudge stick right in front of the camera. I can't tell if you can see that, but that's the smudge. It's a burning. Yeah, we're right on the other side of the Virgo full moon. It's now waning. This will be a reading for Libra, air sign. Your major arcana card is Justice. That really is the holy smoke. And for March 2023. And I think we should just jump in. I do. This is a deck I haven't used in a while. For some reason, I'm called to use all these sort of golden colored decks. Sometimes that, it's always a good thing to kind of go with what, how the spirit moves us. I like that saying, because that's actually, when the spirit moves you to do something, you best do it. And it's always a grace. Always puts you into a place of connection. I mean, obviously it's moving you and you're allowing yourself to be moved by it, and you can feel it. You can feel the nudges. And usually we can, and usually they're pretty gentle nudges, although once in a while it's like not so gentle. So we'll see how it is for you guys in March. Libra. Balance, clear thinking, Libra. First card out. Seven of Swords. It's sword energy, but it can be a tricky sword energy. It can literally be trickster energy, because it's a card of, can be of deception of yourself or of other people. It can also be a card of strategizing, because it's air energy, it's mental energy. How am I going to do this? And not wanting to be seen while you're figuring it out. It's a little bit of a cloaking device. But this guy's really looking over his shoulder. Whatever exit we're talking about here is not one that you want a lot of fanfare with. You're trying to get out of a situation without being really obvious about it. And you're thinking about how to do it. And you're deceptive, perhaps in the sense, and I say you, could be somebody you're dealing with. But they're not trying to be understood. They're trying to operate somehow under the radar, maybe. Seven of Swords. And it shows somebody leaving the enemy camp. Taking 5 swords, leaving 2 behind. It's not a comfortable card. Not a comfortable card. Libra. Are you strategizing something, maybe? Wowie. Tower. And it's funny, the only prompt I had, well, I had a couple, but I happened to pick up a piece of paper that said the tower clears the way for a blessing. Which I like, because I think it does. It's not comfortable at the time, tower is sort of startling, extreme, even in its positive aspect as an epiphany, that's unsettling. It takes you into completely new terrain. But I like that idea. It clears its way for a blessing. And it's paired up here with 7 of Swords. I almost get the feeling like this is the strategy. You know, like, I don't know, just like sneak. It's almost like get away, and anticipating that this thing is going to go boom. That's how I'm seeing it now, anyways. I haven't even gotten my orientation with the camera, but here we go. And in this depiction of the tower, usually it just says 2 people flying out the window. This is a whole crew on the ground. There's one person falling, one person flying, like angelically. And then all the people down below just making various faces of like, some of them are imploring, some of them are like, none of them are happy. There's a whole variety of reactions to this explosive thing. The only person who looks sort of like, meh, is the dude in the blue hat. The wife, the children, the granny, there's somebody in prayer pose, and they're all pretty upset. And the guy in the blue hat, I don't know quite what that means. I don't know quite what that means. Let's keep going. And it's not unusual that with 2 cards out, one of them is the card of a deception or going under the radar, that I wouldn't be able to read it that fast. Okay, 7 of Pentacles, 2 sevens. This is a very different kind of 7. This is about investment, taking time and energy to grow something. And it takes time. And it could be, in this context, time to rebuild, because the towers come down. And, whatever it was could not stand. The foundation was bad to begin with. It didn't have a stable, whatever the situation was, didn't have a stable foundation. And clearly with this kind of trickstery, shifty energy, mental energy. 7 of Swords is not stability, but 7 of Pentacles is. It might be that this sneaky behavior has been discovered or somehow precipitated this tower moment. What can you tell us about these 2 sevens? One to do with mental energy, one to do with tangible stuff. And the tower is like the collapse of a previous arrangement, situation. Whoa, okay. Knight of Cups. The messenger wanting to deliver some kind of love or feeling, heartfelt message. Messengers are the sort of envoys of the tarot. They bring messages, they take action, they and this is a watery energy, heartfelt, an offer. So there's a strategizing, and Tower clears the way. What did I say? Clears the way for blessing. For a blessing. And the 7 of Coins and the Knight of Cups, you can see the blessing there. It's a love offer. And it has to do with growing, investing, and building, or in this case, perhaps rebuilding something. Blessing in the form of, and the delivery system of feelings, of something to do with connection and who cares for you and who you care for. But it's coming into you, Libra. And the one thing I got, this is your energy on the board. It's a little odd because this would be sort of antithetical to high functioning Libra energy, which is all about fairness and good judgment. And, you know, so why the need for the subversion, for the sneak? Okay, they're saying switchy decks. That's pretty fast. For Libra, we want to look at what's this need for not being able to do things in a straightforward way. What are you escaping from? You know, has there been some way in which somebody's strategy has been to blow the whole thing up? And then this investment, this growth of love? Well, this is the growth, Seven of Pentacles. And this is the creepy mental, you know, I have to say trickery. Gotta keep going. Tell me about the Seven of Swords, because I don't get that. Tell us about the seven, the trickery, you know. You can tell us. He's not speaking up wherever he is. He's doing she, they. Something kind of under the radar, but let us have a look, please, Spirit. The overeye, the all-knowing. Well, it has to do with independence. A strategy for becoming independent? In the same Pentacles energy of the Seven of Pentacles. So it's growing something. And this is all about, I've grown enough so that I'm self-sustaining. Not in solitude, you know, in the sense of a loneliness. It's being in your own company. And that's sustaining. Authentic self. Virgo energy. So a growing sense of independence, maybe? You know, I get the feeling of like really conflicting, almost like a friction between thinking and being, Sword energy and Pentacle energy. What's the Tower? The Epiphany, oh no, that's too many, sorry. I did see, well, I'll take that one because I saw the Six of Swords. And that's moving on from the creepy metal energy. And Seven of Swords is actually creepy. It has that kind of, you know, somebody creeping around in the background, not wanting to be in the foreground, not wanting to be discovered. I'm really getting the idea of sort of subversive energy. It's like this guy sneaks in, possibly sneaks away from, but I think maybe sneaks in, strategizes a way to, you know, blow the situation up, which is a good thing. It's a blessing somehow. Blows it up, and then moves on. Six of Swords, to calmer waters. And boy, after you've Seven of Swords something and towered something, you know, you'd want to, it isn't a place you'd really want to stick around. It isn't a mental place. Seven of Swords isn't a comfortable energy. I mean, even if you're strategizing to do something good for this, clears the way for the blessing, you know, you might still want to gain some distance on it, or gain some distance in any case from this, whatever kind of posture you've had to assume, because I think this is you. Kind of operating out of your element, because I think ordinarily Libra would want to be clear, upfront, balanced. But this is almost like a, you know, breaking the law. Breaking the law. It's certainly not above board. But we've got there the card of independence. Underneath Seven of Swords is sneaky stuff. Clearing the way for black. Well, let's just keep going. Seven of Coins. What's the growth, the investment, the time you take? Good earth energy on the board so far. Challenging air energy. Oh, here's a kind of a better air energy. This is healing. Whatever was challenging in the way of conflicting beliefs, or a belief you need to hide, this is the healing of it. And in a way, so is Six of Swords, because it's moving on from anything like the Seven of Swords energy of having to dissemble, or even the need to strategize your way out. And this is that card of respite. And it indicates a withdrawal, kind of to get your head together. You're going toward a calmer waters to be able to do this, I would think. And the blessing is somehow your independence. And I'm looking forward to clarifying Seven of Coins. That's clarified by Six of Swords. So you're headed to a place where you want to invest, where you can invest, that's substantive. It's not, you know, confusing or conflicted mental energy. It's grounded. It's the basis for more abundance. This is the one I really want to get to, is Knight of Cups, because it's here, love is at the door, you know. Love is at the door. Tell us about the Knight of Cups, please. Wowie. Four of Wands. You know, this is a card of union. Under Knight of Cups, makes a lot of sense. It's a love offer, and it can be, you know, it can be marriage or just joining up with somebody, where you mutually meet in this shelter of your own creation. Wands energy. It's new, it's inspired, it's creative, it's fiery. And it's a four, it's stable. It's the stable place that you've arrived. Okay, and it's right next to Six of Swords. This is arriving in the stable, more stable place mentally. Into calmer waters by virtue of your healing, Four of Swords. And if you were single, you know, or just conceive of yourself as having everything you need, well, you may need this as well. Cleared the way for the blessing. This is the blessing. And it looks like it's been a weird route there, involving some dissembling and some rather massive upheaval. And landing you in Four of Wands, which is like that kind of heaven on earth feeling. Okay, we're going to clarify Tower first. It's the major arcana on the board. And it's a huge energy. It's like earthquake energy. And I'm looking particularly at the angel. I mean, Tower implies the divine, or that power greater than ourselves stepping in and saying, no, we got to change this up. This isn't where we want to be. Let's clear the way for the blessing, which appears to be love and greater mental health and clarity. Okay, you too. Okay, first off, we have, this is rather a lot. We have Star card. The healer, the healing. This is 16, and this is 17. So remember the thing, the Tower clears the way for the blessing. Well, there it is, Tower, followed by the blessing. This is, as I say, the healing place, where you're supposed to be, where you most want to be, wish granted. You're guided there. Seven of Swords again. Goes on Seven of Swords. Does it? Yes. Okay. So, double sneak. Cross, cross, double cross. And on Seven of Coins, Three of Coins, Three of Pentacles, the cooperative energy. It shows a craftsman and a, there are two other characters. One's holding the plans for this building, and the other, it appears to be a friar, and it appears to be the church. But it's just sort of like, who's making this space? Who is it housing? And by whose plans? And it's all these three entities that need to cooperate in order to make it happen. And it's taken time and investment. Add these two together, 7 and 3 of Pentacles, you get 10 of Pentacles. That's like family, legacy, home. And this is also a card of home. And in a way, so is Star, being led to the place you're supposed to be. Because I'll tell you where you weren't supposed to be anymore is Tower place. Can't live in the Tower. You can hide in the Tower. You can defend the Tower. But the Tower's on fire here, and somebody is jumping out the window. And I'm not sure what this angelic presence is. It has something to do with the blessing. Clears the way for the blessing. Okay. So we had Star on Tower. We had 3 of Pentacles on 7 of Coins of Pentacles. And here we have Hangman. A card of getting a new perspective. A card of something, of a pause, of a wait, of a sacrifice. Clears the way for a blessing. So it's a blessing in Pentacles terms of abundance and resources, construction, versus I mean, Tower on one level is just destruction. But then you have these two Pentacles cards of taking time to rebuild in a very real way, in Pentacles way, in a place where we could live there. You know, we can live there, we can eat it, you know. It sustains us. It's a place to live and a lot to eat, and everybody's accommodated. And it's something about a new perspective, another kind of epiphany. Tower is one sort of epiphany, clears the way for a blessing. Well, this person is sort of getting it. He's taken a kind of a yogic posture of sort of, I want to say assume the position, but you know, I'll wait for the revelation, and when it comes in, and here's another angelic character in the background, that may be the right time to come in with a love offer. I have to say, it confuses me a little bit, because it starts off with subversion, almost like a guerrilla warrior, you know. I sneak in, I set the fuse on this tower for the greater good, so the blessing can come in, and this is the blessing. Then we rebuild it on a more stable footing, from a new perspective that allows for this love offer, is what it looks like. Tell us about Nine of Pentacles, please. The independence, usually the single individual. Doesn't look like that's where you end up, because the love offer is coming in. Okay. Well, there you are, King of Swords. You know, smart, fair, clear-minded, Libra energy, basically, your energy. In the masculine action-taking aspect. King of Swords knows stuff and acts on what he knows, and is able to ascertain what's true. He's a clear communicator. And that's on Nine of Pentacles. Well, King of Swords would be independent. But it almost looks like he's coming in, you're coming in, because this has got to be you, right? Yeah. You're coming in, King of Swords, to maybe interact with this earth sign, this single earth sign. And here we go, Page of Swords. Yeah, Page of Swords, which is a new idea, learning about something. This is on Four of Swords, this sort of healing, and oh, sorry, I'm trying to cross my legs, and this table is lovely, but it's got these big lumpy legs. This is learning about something, sometimes by kind of observing somebody else. Can even be a card of spying, which this has a little bit of that energy too. Because it's sort of like, I'm going behind the scenes. I'm not declaring myself. And somehow, I believe you want the tower down. You're trying to clear the way for a blessing. But maybe you're also learning how to heal. Because Tower shakes everybody up. It just does. It may be a blessing, but it's a blessing in disguise. And this is disguise. Remember I said it's like a cloaking device? Like something you can't tell right now. Or you couldn't tell. And I have the image of somebody, you know, I can't think of the name of the game, but where you, well, it's sort of like pick up sticks, but not quite. Like you pull out the one piece and the whole thing comes down. I can't remember what it's called, but and I've never played it, but I think there's a game where you build a structure and you begin to remove pieces of it. And it could be like a system of belief, because swords are about beliefs. So it could be observing, you know, without really interacting, observing somebody heal or learning how to heal. And part of it, I think, learning how to heal is just how to get out of there. You know, after this tower, after the clearing of the path, this is like using that to, you know, you've cleared the path to basically get away from some belief system or situation that was just fraught. Tell us about the Six of Swords. Move into the better place, the calmer place. Place where you can think straight and where you don't have to dissemble. Well, it's the Magician. Virgo and Gemini. So it's an earth-air, you know, mixture. It's being able to bring things from a conceptual place into a physical place. You know, and he's holding the wand, the magic wand, in his magician's hand, and it's sort of, it's like pulling the rabbit out of the hat, but it's not trickery. I mean, this is sort of a trickster card. I said that in the beginning. And we got the trickster twice over. But this is a manifestation, finding a way out, I'd say. Clearing the path and then moving on the cleared path to somewhere else. And you can manifest this. You probably already have. And you may have blown something up in your life big time. And you know, not been upfront that you were going to exit a situation. And it's a little odd because Tower usually is stuff beyond our control. But this is like a controlled demolition. You know, when you know you're going to bring down a building and you do it on purpose in such a way that it comes down sort of with the least amount of damage. But it comes down. Tower clears the way for a blessing. And that clear path, sword energy, clarity that you made by bringing down the tower, you now have an exit route. And you did it. You manifested it. From a kind of conceptual thing to a physical thing. To a physical place. And Four of Wands really is a blessing. It's a blessed union. It's a blessed place. That's where you're supposed to be, where you're guided to be. And we keep, we get this, seems to me in reading after reading, the idea that the place is at once physical, it's a particular place, but it's also a metaphysical. It's sort of both, it's in both dimensions at once. Who could pull that off? This guy. Both dimensions at once. It's up in the, wherever we pull the manifesting stuff from, this is the act of doing that. Pulling something into being. So that's the one we're going to clarify next, is the, I'm just trying to get the order right, because then when I look back at it, it makes a little more sense. So we're going to clarify Four of Wands, this it's the place where you can come together. It's not the place where you have to dissemble. It's not the old place of constriction where you were living before. It is something you build and invest in a cooperative way. Hermit. Again, another kind of contradiction. Because Hermit is a little bit, these are both cards of Virgo. You might be dealing with a Virgo. This is a card of independence, and in a way, so is Hermit. Kind of the one who's in solitude. But it's not solitude to escape. This is sort of the escape. Seven of Swords. But this is like a withdrawal to become enlightened. To become enlightened. Hangman. And love is knocking at the door. And getting in. Because here's the union place. And I think maybe you're guided, because Hermit is the guide, right? He's got the lantern and the staff and lights the path based on a deep understanding that you've come to, kind of withdrawing from, not from responsibilities. You've got the necessary knowledge. You've got the way to light the path, and perhaps to this place. But this is union, and this is sort of like, I think, Libra, you have the wisdom internally, because Libra is sort of all about fairness on the outside and balance and weighing things up. Well, this is another way to weigh things up, but it involves it's not a cerebral energy, really. It's an enlightenment energy. And that's not to say King of Swords isn't enlightened, because he would be. Sword energy is about the brain working very well, being lit up by knowledge and certainty and truth and clarity. And I think that kind of knowledge and this kind of knowledge are not antithetical. They come into union. They come into union. It's also sort of like, because always with Hermit, there's the implication of you go into this retreat to get the wisdom, and then you come back down into the world, And you're coming back down into the place of the blessing. Tower has cleared the way and perhaps allowed for this independent knowing. 9 of Pentacles, Hermit. I still think you may be involved with a Virgo because there are 2 cards of Virgo on the board. Also Pisces, Hangman, Magician, Virgo, Gemini. So what else can you tell us? Tell us a little bit more about the blessing. Eight of Pentacles. This is perfecting your craft, doing the work. Another earth energy card. Lots of earth here. Earth and air, earth and air. With a little bit of, there's a love offer coming in, and also this sort of promise of union. It entails work. You know, it entails work, and we see that in 7 of Coins, 3 of Coins, 7 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. You know, it's cooperative energy. You're both investing in it. Everybody's investing. Everybody's doing their part. Everybody's kicking something in. And it's work, but it's cooperative work. It's not laboring by yourself. This part, to get the enlightenment, you know, somebody has to be alone. And in that Hangman energy, you're seeing it from the other guy's perspective. In that sense, you're changing your perspective on a situation. You know, nobody can make you change it. So in that sense, it's something you're coming to on your own. And this has to do with a lot of time. Towers come down fast. What's that? There's a wonderful Passenger song about love comes slow and it goes so fast. And there it is, love coming in. And the Hangman is sort of a bit of a break, a downshift to get a new perspective. Love comes slow, and it goes so fast. Hum. King of Wands. Purposeful, I will do it. I know how to put this into action. I know how to put my inspirations and my vision into action. And you know, if you're going to build something substantial from, maybe not from scratch, but kind of from the ground up, starting with the foundation, this is the one who would have the purpose and the passion to follow through. And ones have that sense of, you know, of purpose, but also of direction. Like, I can see this through. You know, the King of Wands doesn't run out of gas on something. He's looking a little haughty here. I mean, they say King of Wands has ego. you know, I don't think it's ego in a bad way. It's King of Wands. If all the surrounding signs were, all the surrounding cards implied, you know, troublemaker, blah, blah, blah. And there are those double sevens, which we really have to clarify. But this is like, I know how to do it. I've figured it out. And this is like, and I will put it into action. I think that's the same person who's involved with this, perhaps with a Virgo. But, you know, in this energy of the place of union, King of Wands knows what he wants. And I think you might want Virgo. Virgo's the sign that comes right before you. You're like you're close. Can you tell me about King of Swords, Nine of Pentacles? What's this king sure about with relation to this independent individual strength? I think that they're strong, yes. They're independent and they're strong. They're also compassionate. There's some kind of, there's something about like, what you know is you belong with this person. I mean, these two are in an amazing dynamic. In a state of complete trust. Leo, tell us about this double seven swords. Really, I'm still curious as to clear the way for the blessing. Okay. That's the offer. I'd say that's the blessing, the building block, the opportunity, clearing the way for the blessing that can come right into being, that can be a building block in this, cooperative, let's do it energy. And there's the block. I mean, it's funny that this is sort of the block, Seven of Wands, feeling like you need to fend off other interests. And this is the offer that perhaps I had it for a second there, then it slipped away. Well, it's another seven. I mean, it could be like something like there's been a lot of need to be sneaky, but now you're blocking that in order to take the I mean, it almost looks though like you're blocking the opportunity. So we need to go one more. What is this about the sneak and the block? It feels to me like this strategy of a football game. When you do the fake, you act like you're going to pass it in one way, and then you run the ball. And there may be something to that, like you run the ball. You've cleared the way, football analogy. You've got your blocking people, you've got your quarterback, and there's some opportunity in hand. And there's also like a space. You've made a space, Seven of Wands. You've cleared, that's that clearing away again. Emperor. Divine Masculine, Aries, take charge energy. Supposed to go. I am directed by Emperor to put it on 8 of Pentacles. That energy of doing the work, of mastering the craft. And the craft seems to me to be roughly doing what you have to do, 7 of Swords twice over, to help this thing fall down. You're somehow, if you're not pushing the TNT, thing to make it go boom, it's something pretty close to that to bring in the blessing. And you're doing it purposefully, King of Wands, and Emperor, same fire energy. Purposefully, passionately, you'd be able to be the block person and the one who runs the ball. This is sort of this is not the coach really, but the captain of the team. Team captain. It can be the one who orchestrates something, but also delegates. And a lot is being built and accomplished. Okay, we got 8 of Wands, communication, incoming. It can indicate a move, a literal move. But it's often just about starting up the conversation that needs to happen. Yeah, on King of Wands. So King of Wands is initiating a conversation that may be based on this sort of contemplative discovery of the blessing, lighting the path to this place of union, which is where this guy wants to go. And I think has achieved a kind of, he's upgraded to Emperor status. He's mastered 8 of Pentacles, the mastery, the craft of rebuilding on a more stable footing, because Emperor is all about stability. He brings stability to a situation. So there's this flurry of communication from the King of Wands, who's also the Emperor. And I think because the Emperor is all the kings. We have King of Swords, King of Wands. I thought we had a King of Cups. But no, we have the Knight of Cups. So by implication, they're all here. But here we have Queen of Cups. Which goes nicely with, and it falls on, the card of strength, the card of compassion. I mean, Queen of Wands is great compassion. She extends her love. She extends her love. And I think the Emperor is really taken with, I would say, with you. Yeah, it doesn't feel, I don't feel like I've quite gotten to the bottom of it. So let's see. Let's just do another of these. Yep. Okay, there's the love offer again. You know, we see these sword energies and earth energies and all that, but it seems to me this is kind of the fuel. And it's an offer coming in again. The Knight and the Page. This is youthful, new, and it would have to be if Tower brought everything down. And it has the tinge of an apology. It has the tinge of an apology. Six of Cups. We're suddenly getting a lot of Cups energy. It's like the flow. This communication, I think, which is sort of a card of flow, starts this flow of feeling. Definitely no need for this Seven of Swords kind of trickery energy. This is usually to do with somebody from your past. It's a card of deep connection that goes back in time. There's time all over this reading, these pentacle cards of investment and taking the time and time to rebuild. And so it could be an offer to you from a soulmate. Somebody you just care deeply about and who I'd venture to say cares about you as well. Loving care, compassion, and a rockin' symbiotic relationship with somebody is on the board. I think we're supposed to get one more. This is sort of like the root of it, please, Spirit. We have the Ten of Cups, upside down, Ten of Cups. You know, all that cup stuff we've been talking about, I said suddenly it's starting to flow. Well, this is like every cup filled. I mean, it's a card of being where you want to be with the people you want to be with. And the card of the Moon, which is the mystery, which is the feminine principle. And it's something about like the pull, like the tides, like it's something coming up from deep down, but manifesting it, because this is a major arcana, this is the minor arcana, this is sort of the big energies of the psyche. This is the more as it expresses in daily life. Card of deep feeling, Moon, intuitive, feel your way energy. But look at what it's paired with here. The love offer from this soulmate or to this soulmate, leading to, because this is Cups energy, right? This is water energy, the Moon. To this absolutely brilliant place. Also strikes me as it's a full moon in Virgo time. And we have Virgo all over the reading. We have the Hermit, the Nine of Pentacles. Something coming to fruition. And it's a boatload of love and connection, contentment, fulfillment. Libra. And this was in the root of the matter. So I'd say if this has been information, but you know, coming into being, coming into being. And we did see the cups come in a little at a time. First, the page. This, you know, somebody making the offer to somebody else. This is the two of you meeting up again, because there's that sense of we've been here before. It's almost like deja vu. You know, there's nostalgia for this person, this place. And they're coming back again. You know, into this place of happiness and fulfillment. I mean, I sort of feel like I'm just sort of yodeling around, because it starts off in a tricky place, but does it end up with a blessing? A 10 of Cups blessing. Can't kind of find more love and connection and blessing than this energy. I mean, if in the Tower the everybody was going, ah, in this one everybody's going, ah, here we are, and we're together. Last card. This is High Priestess. You know, a knowledge beyond which you can actually see. Reading the energies. Knowing what's coming in. It's almost like you know, in an earthquake, there are the pre-quake stage. She would feel it. But what's coming in isn't the Tower that decimates. It's the Tower that clears the path for the blessings. This is a card of deep intuition, as is Moon. So somebody's intuitive powers are spot on. Because you're both, the way these were laid down, it's both at your root, the root of the matter, and at the sort of outcome place. Crowning the whole reading. One more. Oh. All right, just for laughs, we're going to take it off of this deck we haven't used yet. Just to make it symmetrical and nice. That was fast. Please be a... Okay. Page of Wands. The new direction. In that same energy as King of Wands, 8 of Wands, 4 of Wands. This is, I know the way. I know the way. And perhaps not based on this sword energy, your natural strong suit, because it's a suit, right? Swords. But, you know, taking the lead, letting your intuition take the lead. You're smart. You're going to use your smarts. And you're pairing up with a very compassionate person. A very loving person. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of love back and forth. Somebody really loves you, Libra. And this is like lighting the way. You've cleared the path for the blessing. You know, you have Hermit lighting the path. And this is the action taker in a new direction. Because pages are about youth and newness. It's inspirational energy. I think that's it. And I think it's interesting that that whole business of the tower clears the way for a blessing. I mean, there's been a need for clarity, because Seven of Swords is not being clear about, not being upfront about something. But there's something about coming to the forefront. You know, both pages are offers, stepping forward with the love offer, the apology, the new way of loving. And here's how we do it. And there is a we. There's a we. 10 of Cups, 4 of Wands. There's a union. An Emperor is putting a plan into action. And weirdly enough, he may have started off having to sort of do it surreptitiously. But that is over, and the new thing is this sort of humble, sweet, you know, I did it for you kind of energy. I did it for you. I did it for you. I'd say somebody loves you very much, Libra, and it's reciprocal. And if there's something rocky at the beginning, I mean, it's sort of like, I don't know what a good analogy is. You know, I had the image of like a bar fight. Like it starts off raggedy and rough, and it ends up peaceful and loving. And it may involve the need to sneak and block. Again, that football kind of image of like, you want to get the ball down the field, you do what you have to do. And who would do it? There's an energy of doing it here. Doing it. Emperor, King of Wands, King of Swords. And then sort of almost like a reset back to the page energy of, here I am, let's go. I love you, let's go. I'm sorry for the explosive, slightly devious issues here, but we've cleared the way for the blessing, and let's take the blessing. Take that 4 of Wands blessing. This whole thing could have transpired very quickly, in a matter of days. So March looks like a time of upheaval, rebuilding, purposeful direction, and love, and deep, deep feelings, deep, 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 deep. What's that thing about, far from the shallow now? Far from the shallow now. Thank you, Libra. I love you guys. Oops, I've got my legs. I might as well be like tethered to the chair. Yeah. Here's to the great untethering. Let's go forth. Page of Wands. This way. This is the way. This is the way through.